I'm going to ask the co-chairs of the commission to come up to the podium. Professor Marshall Brieger, Aria Goldberg, Sal Goldner, Gil Capon, Suhail Khan, Joseph B. Stam, Russell Taub, Stanley Treitel. Our international chairman, Mr. Shafiq Gabor, please join us. 2 months ago, on September the 17th, the world marked the 40th anniversary of the Camp David Accords, which came about as a result of the late President Anwar Sadat's bold, courageous, and inspiring trip to Jerusalem and his historic speech to the Knesset, where he proposed ending 30 years of war between the Arab Republic of Egypt and the State of Israel. As we meet here today, I am proud to announce that the Congress of the United States has passed legislation titled the Anwar Sadat Centennial Celebration Act that awards President Sadat posthumously with the Congressional Gold Medal. To secure the requisite 2/3 of both houses of Congress to co-sponsor the legislation required years of planning, an effort which was jointly spearheaded by the Anwar Sadat Congressional Gold Medal Commission and Mr. Shafiq Gabor, chairman of the Shafiq Gabor Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the international chairman of the Anwar Sadat Congressional Gold Medal Commission, Shafiq Gabor.
I lived during the days of President Sadat. I saw what he did. I saw his vision. In the world we live in today, with the multiple conflicts across the globe, both around the world and in the Middle East, Sadat's vision and legendary courage is a lesson for leaders around the globe. As we approach the 3rd decade of the 21st century, it is critical for leaders around the world to promote peace, stability, and security, to make it a safer world and more prosperous for our children and the next generation. The US Congress's recognition of President Sadat and awarding him the Congressional Gold Medal is appreciated by all peace-loving Egyptians and citizens of the world, and a clear message to other leaders to be able to follow. I thank you all for being here. I express my deep thanks for the US Congress, and I hope sincerely that this message is taken by leaders across the world, that peace and courage are extremely important for our children and the next generation. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Chris Stewart.
Thank you to all of you for being those kind of people who could give people like me hope that we can find peace in very troubled spots around the world.
4 years ago, I built the Leon Charney Resolution Center. This year, we started our center's ambassadorship program. Our ambassadors, AMIS graduates, are spreading our mission of resolution, choices, changes, and peace wherever they are in order to help make the world a better place. Powerful vision and great sense of courage like President Sadat, the level of commitment and courage of President Carter, and the willingness and courage of Prime Minister Begin. We have a long way ahead of us in terms of truly reaching peace on a local and global scale. But I believe that President Sadat is still illuminating the road ahead with his legacy, inspiring us all to do better for our world.
Senator Cardin.
So, when I was given the opportunity by Ezra to join with Oren on the gold medal for President Sadat, I said yes right away to have a chance to work with my good friend Orrin Hatch. So Ezra, thank you for your leadership and the strategy that you displayed to get this done. I also want to acknowledge Sylvia Charney. Thank you for your leadership throughout this process and everything that you have done. To Isaac Duba, thank you for your leadership in regards to getting this all put together.
I'm also privileged to introduce the present CEO, Isaac Daba. Please, the floor is yours.
We at Delta Galil, a firm that I'm the CEO in, are firm supporters of coexistence between Israel and its neighbors. In fact, Delta was the pioneer in establishing the first Israeli state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Egypt. We believe in fostering peace through regional economic cooperation. Today, Delta Galil employs over 3,500 associates in Egypt. I'm hopeful that bestowing the Congressional Gold Medal upon Anwar Sadat 40 years after the peace treaty was signed will send a message of hope to the people of the Middle East. It sends a message that America supports the peacemakers, and God willing, it will encourage other leaders to take the bold step towards forging a lasting peace in the region. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my special privilege to recognize Senator Hatch, who needs no introduction. He has had the deep vision and deep understanding of what President Sadat meant to the world, and who co-introduced the Sadat Gold Medal legislation in the Senate and has been a great supporter of what we're doing. Please.
This bipartisan bill will ensure that former Egyptian President Anwar Sadat will be posthumously awarded a Congressional Gold Medal for his courage in becoming the first Arab leader to enter into a peace agreement with the State of Israel, a move that earned him and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm fortunate because I knew both of them and loved both of them. Of course, this bill would not have been possible were it not for the hard work of the Anwar Sadat Congressional Gold Medal Committee. In particular, Mr. Shafiq Gabar, Ms. Sylvia Charney, and Mr. Isaac Daba.
Ambassador Rida, it's such a pleasure to welcome you to say a few words.
The passage of Anwar Sadat Centennial Celebration Act would not have been possible without your support.
Senator Chris Van Hollen.
Here in the nation's capital, there are some things that can unite us, and one of those things is celebrating Anwar Sadat and his legacy.
Sure. Congresswoman Grace Meng, who is a co-sponsor on the House side of this legislation.
We remember and celebrate those who have made peace possible in the past. Thank you to everyone for your desire to recognize true courage and your willingness to celebrate it.
But I also want to recognize someone else here who has not been mentioned, and that is Gil Capon, who's done an immense job of working between Egypt, Israel, and the United States. So I appreciate your being here. And may I close by saying that for those of you who have never been to Egypt, this is an open invitation. It is an open invitation for you to come directly to Egypt, or if you're going to Israel, let me remind you all, it's just a 40-minute flight from Tel Aviv to Cairo. Thank you all for being here.